And welcome to the New Day Show, and welcome to part 2 of the importance of paying it forward. As I promised you in part 1, I want to share with you one way that I have been called to pay it forward. And it has to do with my former elementary school in Jamaica, West Indies, in the parish of Westmoreland and the district of Carmel, and particular location, the Carmel Moravian All-Age School. Well, back in 2012, while I was out in Jamaica visiting my son Javonte, I happened to I went to Westmoreland because I wanted to show Javonte the rural section of where I grew up. And I showed him where I went to the farmer's market as a child. I took him up to where I used to walk the trail to go up to my home, up on the hill, up on the mountain top, and then I took him to my church and, of course, my school. My school and my church is on the same property. Well, I was very excited because the woman, not very many things changed while I went there. There was a horse shed, because when I was growing up as a child, the rich people rode horses to church and we, the poor people, we walked. And that horse shed was now converted into an early childhood center. Because when I was growing up, there was what we called an infant school, which was run by Teacher Jameson. It was a one-room schoolhouse like you are accustomed to here in America. And there were so many students in that one room. A lot. We just know that it, as a child, it looked maybe like 200 kids. I know it wasn't that many, but that's how jam-packed that one room was. Well, Teacher Jemison died, and now they have formed an early childhood center, and that's what they has converted the horse shed into. Well, then I saw that and I explained to my son what that building used to be. And then I went down and I noticed the tank where we gather the water from the rain was still there. And the little canteen that I used to get my lunch from was the same size. 2 tiny little rooms. One section they store for storage and the other section is where they cook. I peeked through the window and I said to the cook with all the excitement, I said to her, I used to be a student here. And I said, oh my God, you now have a refrigerator and a stove, because when I was there was no electricity. And of course they cooked on wood fire. And she said, yes, ma'am, we now have gas stove and we have electricity and all of that. So I was very excited. Then I rushed to the school building to see the principal, because I was told by someone in the district who the principal was. And it happened that this was a young lady that I knew from, she was very young, I think maybe like 3 years old, I knew her. And she was now the principal. So I went out and towards this classroom, and the kids started looking through the window, and then a woman walked out, and I greeted her and told her I was looking for Miss Richards. And she said to me, she looked up in the skies and she said, there is a God. And I said, Gwen, is this you? And she said, yes. And she said, Miss Sweetie, every day I pray to God that I would see you again, because I remember how kind you were to me as a child. And I asked her how the school was doing. I asked her how long she was the principal. She told me. I asked her how the school was doing, and she said some things are good and some things not so good. She said the children from the school now get to go to a high school automatically. When I was growing up as a child, if you were not successful in passing the Jamaica Common Entrance exams, you would not go to high school. You would stay there until you finish your education there at the elementary school. And I was not successful in passing the Common Entrance, so I spent all my early days there, and I took the Jamaica local, first, second, and third Jamaica local exams right there at the elementary school. And she said, but there is one problem. And right away, I thought that the kids, being from a farming community and everything, I thought the kids were all smoking marijuana. You know, and she says, I didn't voice that, although the thought crossed my mind. I did not voice it. And I asked her what the problem was. She said the children are coming to school without breakfast. They are coming to school hungry. And the minute she voiced that to me, I heard a voice said to me, that's why I send you here today. And with tears running down my face, I said to her, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm making a commitment to provide a warm breakfast 5 days a week for these children. And I came back to the U.S., and with prayer and excitement, I told a lot of people about it. And with the prayers and the blessing and just stepping out on faith and understanding the importance of paying it forward, I founded the Empowering People Foundation, Inc. And the Empowering People Foundation, Inc. will do exactly as it says. It will empower people beyond their wildest imagination. And the Empowering People Foundation, Inc. has 3 phases that this breakfast feeding program will take. And the phase 1, we will begin to serve hot breakfast on September the 3rd, 2014. And it is a blessing for all the people who has believed in what I am called to do and have stepped up and know it is important for us to pay it forward. It's important for us to pay it forward in the nutrition of these 150 students at the Carmel Moravian All-Age School in Jamaica, West Indies. There are many people who understand the importance of paying it forward by knowing that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. There are many people who stepped up because they understand that these children's academic will not improve unless they have a nutritious meal. For that, I am so grateful to each and every one of you for your prayers, for your energies, and for your resources. Those who have called me with encouraging words, those of you who have wrote notes to me, email, text, I thank you. I could not have done that without your support. I'm not only thanking you from the depths of my heart, I'm thanking you on behalf of those 150 students who will, on September the 3rd, will no longer be hungry. They will have a nutritional breakfast. Their stomachs will no longer be growling in classes. They will be alert, their stomachs will be filled, and they will be ready to learn. Who knows? The next prime minister of the island might be in one of those classes. The next top surgeon, heart surgeon for the University of the West Indies might be in that class. We never know. But what we know is that we must continue to pay it forward in whatever way that we can. And that's phase one. Phase two of the program will be where we will put into place empowerment programs for the parents to be the ones who grow each produce that is prepared in the kitchen. They will do that, and instead of the cooks have to go to the market to shop for a full week, every 2 days they can supply the produce that is needed to the canteen. This way, the kids are getting fresh, healthy, organic foods, because each family will be concentrating on one produce. This way, there's no competition with the families. And as the project grows over the years, we look forward to having enough produce that they can supply other schools in the area. And those, they are very close to Montego Bay. As they grow, they could form co-ops where they are selling their organic produce to the hotels in Montego Bay and in Negril and all over the parish of Westmoreland and St. James. I know it sounds like a big dream, but I know that nothing is too big for God to handle. And I am just a servant that is called to pay it forward in this manner. And I know that there is someone who is listening to this show who believes in paying it forward in some way or another. I ask that you reach out. You can call me on 203-794-6208. Let me know how you are committing to paying it forward in the lives of these children. They are depending on you in whatever way you can support. Phase 3 of the program will be to build a cafeteria. Right now, the students, they go to the kitchen and they get their little meals and they walk back to the classroom and they eat. There are some times when it's heavy rains and the ground between the school building and the canteen, it's rough, it's rocky, it's not paved or anything like that. And can you imagine how slippery those wet rocks are? If a child slips on one of those rocks and their meal spill, that's it. Because they don't have enough to cook excess to give a second helping. Everything is to the portion for each child to get. So I see the big goal of raising enough money later on and to empower the community as a whole and to come up with a way where we can develop a plan to build a cafeteria for those children. I am here asking you for your prayers and your support and your ideas, because I know there are many brilliant, hundreds of brilliant people that watch this show. And you have ideas way beyond my wildest imagination. I want to hear from you. No idea is too small. I want you to reach out to us and let us know how you are committing to pay it forward to the students at the Carmel School. You, your friends, your churches, your community organization. I go around, I speak at the Rotary Club and other service organization about it. And I am so happy that everyone has embraced this journey that I am on, because I can't do it alone. I can't do it alone, and neither can you. I am called to lead this, but I'm not called to do it by myself. And I know as you listen to this, the ideas are just popping up in your heads. I want for you to write the ideas down and think about the ways that we can help to empower that community. You might be listening and you are from the island of Jamaica. You might not be from Westmoreland. You can be from one of the other 13 parishes. But I'm reaching out to you. Think back what it was like for you when you were on the island. I'll tell you what it was like for me. I too went to that school. But the difference with the students that are going there now and when I was going as a child, I never went to school hungry. And I'll tell you why. My parents were farmers, and whatever they provided for dinner the night before, they would always put some of the staple aside. It could be a dumpling, it could be some yam or dasheen, whatever staple it was. They would put some aside for the following morning's meal. Yes, we did not have microwave. We did not have oven. But my parents would wake up early and they would make sure that they have that wood fire ready. And the coal from the wood would be what they would use to toast whatever it is. And I would get that before I go to school. With sometimes we would have some goat's milk or cow's milk. And when there was no milk, my father had a wooden mill that he would juice the cane, and they would boil the cane juice on the fire, and they would put some mint to give it some flavor, and that would be my beverage for the morning. So I went to school with my stomach filled. The difference between my parents and the parents now is that the younger parents aren't interested in the farming. They want to have everything ready-made. And I think this is why God has called me to go there and to show them the importance of being empowered in making a difference. I am not looking to complete this task. I'm looking to start it. And once this is started, it's a legacy that will continue for many, many more decades. You can imagine being hungry, going to school at 8 o'clock in the morning. You're hungry and you're expected to learn from 8 until 12 when it's lunchtime. They do have a lunch program, but what happens between breakfast and lunchtime? A hungry stomach is not ready to activate the brain to learn. So put yourself in the position of those children, turning up at school, but you're hungry, you're lethargic, you have no energy. The teacher is teaching, but you're not hearing what they say because you're not alert. Put yourself in that position. Have you ever been hungry as an adult? You know what that feels like. Can you imagine a child in elementary school who is expected to go to school from 8 in the morning and not have a meal until 12 noon, and they're expected to learn? I want you to just imagine that with me. And imagine that that was you. I am sure there are lots of you who are listening to this show right now who has never in your lifetime been hungry. So you don't have the slightest idea of what it's like to be hungry. You don't have the slightest idea to hear an empty stomach growl because you have never been in that position. Yet there are thousands across the world who gets up every day and their stomachs are growling because they don't have the first meal of the day. What's your intention? What do you intend to do about that? I'm reaching out to you. Let me know. What is it you intend to do about that? Because I know you're in a position to do something. I want to know what that something is. Call me 203-794-6208. Email me with your answer. A New Day TV show at gmail.com. I want to hear what your intentions are. We can make a difference. I want you to look inside your home and look how much food you are throwing away every day. And as you scrape that in the trash, I want you to imagine a child who is sitting in a class in the Carmel school from 8 a.m. to 12 noon whose stomach is growling. What are you going to do about it? I'm standing up. I'm bold because I know you can do something about it. And I am not going to stop speaking about the importance of paying it forward until each and every one of us are really uncomfortable enough to make a difference. Are you going to be the first one to reach out and say, Daphne, I want to take your hand. I want to help you to make a difference? I'm stretching my hands out to you ready. I want you to take my hands. I want you to tell me, Daphne, I'm committing with you to make a difference. And you and I together will reach out to 2 more people. And all 4 of us will make a difference. And the 4 of us will reach out to 4 more. And before you know it, we are going to have thousands of people who understand that we got to stamp this hunger out. The world is depending on us. The world is depending on us. I am starting in Jamaica, and I am so honored that God has called me to go there and to do that. I am honored. You might be somewhere else listening and you are thinking, oh my God, I know that the same thing is happening at my school. Go and make a difference. You really don't have to know how it's going to all fall into place, but just stand up. It's like roll call. Stand up, answer to your name, and make the commitment to go out there and make a difference, because you are in a position to do it. Don't wait on anybody else to do it. You do it. You stand up and you make a difference. As we move along in the months ahead, you are going to be hearing a lot more from me. There are many people who has already reached out to me on Facebook and said, we want to go down to Jamaica to be there with you. I'm inviting you to take the trip as well. And when you go there, you're going to see firsthand what I'm talking about. I'm reaching out to you. What can you do? Every idea, every suggestion, every encouragement, every prayer, every support is needed. None is too small, none is too big. I need each and every one of you to stand alongside with me and to let the Empowering People Foundation, Inc. be the greatest foundation that will rock the island of Jamaica. I am praying that what we will start at the Carmel All-Age School will snowball and go to all the other schools on the island. If you have never been to Jamaica, you hear people say no problem, man. And we know this too will be no problem, because you are going to step up beside me and you are going to help me to let this manifest. We will have a Facebook fan page in the future for you to support us. But in the meantime, I want you to go on my Facebook page, and you will see all the information that is coming up. There's some information you can see right there at the bottom as you watch this tape. I want you to go there. You will get more information. You can check out the website right there on the screen, and you can check it out. And I want to hear from you. Email me, call me, leave me a note on Facebook, and just say, girl, I got your back in this, and I want to be there for you. Check me out on Twitter at Dynamic Daphne, Facebook.com Dynamic Daphne. My website is Daphne Clarke-Hudson Empowers.com, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Instagram, Daphne Clarke-Hudson. And I'm very excited. You can see that I'm charged up about this. I am going down to Jamaica. We're going to be cooking the first set of breakfast. And I hope to have pictures to show you about all of what is happening. And who knows, as we go, we're going to have videos that we're going to be able to air here so you can see the children. You'll see the pictures of them when they were hungry. And as they start to develop, their nutrition is going to really perk up, and they're going to be learning, and you're going to get all the news right here from me. I need your support. So reach out. If it's even a hug, you can say, girl, go for it. I'm depending on you. I am depending on you, and so are the students of the Carmel All Age School. We love you and thank you for your support.